Everything looks better in slow motion. This is the truth. For instance.
So you want to slow down your footage, but maybe you don't have the camera that's capable of doing slow-mo, or you want to go slower than that camera is capable of. Either way, Twixtor is great. It intelligently slows down, speeds up, and changes the frame rate of your image sequence. Twixtor is made by Revision Effects Incorporated, and you can download a free demo of Twixtor on the URL shown on your screen. The downside is it puts a X watermark across your video. Alright, Twixtor has some limitations. The biggest limitation, I think, is it's not free, and it's not cheap either. Another limitation of Twixtor is it does not slow down audio, only video. So you will completely lose audio sync when you're using Twixtor.
Yes, you're right there.
If you plan on taking the footage and putting music in the background, this is not a problem, but just be advised if you have speech going on, you may need to do some further editing to make it sync back up. Twixtor is not great with intricate backgrounds such as bricks, fences, text. Things like that become distorted and have kind of a liquid look to them. It will also create a kind of a force field mirage outline around your body. The better quality the footage, the better Twixtor will look once applied onto that footage. Step 2, set up your video camera for the fastest frame rate possible. If your video camera has a feature to adjust the frame rate, such as a DSLR camera, you should pick the most frames per second it will allow. More frames per second equals smoother slow motion. Film is 23.976 frames per second. We'll just call it 24 frames per second. This isn't great because you don't get enough frames to really interpolate the motion in between when you slow it down. If you are in Europe, you might be shooting PAL, that's phase altering line, and they shoot at 25 frames per second. A little bit better than film, but not great. If you are shooting with an NTSC type camera, it will shoot at 29.97 frames per second, approximately 30 frames a second. This is better. This is what our flip cams shoot. All the video you watched in the intro to this was shot with a flip cam. If you have a DSLR and it allows slow motion, high speed, you can choose usually up to 59.94 frames per second, approximately 60 frames per second. This is the best. If you have a camera that allows you to do even more, go for it. But usually on a DSLR, that's going to be your limit, and that is what I advise shooting your footage as before you bring it into Twixtor, because a lot of the slow motion has already been done for you by the camera, and Twixtor just kind of lets you stretch it out even further without any jittering or flickering issues. When you're filming, try to keep the camera as stable as possible. Slow motion always looks best when the camera is stable or floats slightly. Use a tripod or something else because shaky video produces poor results. Make sure the people that you are filming don't move around too fast. Moving quickly will create blurry motion that won't look as nice once slowed down. An example is when we shoot fight scenes here at the clubhouse, I have them do it slowly. When you slow it down, it looks a lot cleaner. And the other reason is your members are a lot less likely to get hurt. Alright, step 3, import your footage from your video camera onto your computer. This is done for 2 reasons. The first reason is response time on a video camera is quite slow when compared to your hard drive. Editing from a video camera will result in unnecessary lag time and possibly a crash. The second reason is it frees the video camera up so others can use it while you edit. If the camera becomes detached from the computer, you will not lose your footage. Coming up is part 2. Let's get started using After Effects and Twixtor.